Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Meg Smith.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Today, I am here interviewing Korey Stites, who is the owner of Personal Achievement Martial Arts, located right here in Applewood. Hey, Korey.
Hey, Meg. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about Personal Achievement.
Well, Personal Achievement Martial Arts is my wife and my wife Sarah and I's business. We've been open for, going on 15 years, I believe, here in the Applewood area. I grew up here, so this was always kind of a dream of mine to open up a business here in Wheat Ridge and in Applewood. So when we got the opportunity, over a decade ago, that's something that we decided to do, and we've always kind of been focused on kids and families and doing what we can to help the community. So that's our passion. That's what we love to do.
Yes, and I'm a fan because we've been taking our kiddos there, and Delaney is still going, and now she's. Is it low blue belt? It's been years for her now.
She's a low blue belt, and she's a joy to have in class. We really enjoy having your family around.
Yeah, and we enjoy that you are here and doing the good work that you do, because I absolutely love the leadership aspects and everything you're teaching our kiddos. So tell us a little bit about your journey, because you grew up in martial arts.
I did. I grew up. I started martial arts when I was around 4 years old. 4 or 5, I believe. I think I was maybe just going right into kindergarten, but I was bullied a little bit in school. I didn't have very good eyesight when I was a kid, and I was a little chubby and a little slow, a lot of other kids, and kids can be a little bit mean, but I was bullied, and my parents knew a little bit about martial arts, and I had an aunt that did martial arts, so they found a school near us, and actually it wasn't near us, it was up in Westminster. Actually, we had to drive all the way up to 90th and Wadsworth for a long time, but they found a great school, and that's how I started. And I kind of took to the martial arts. It took a long time for me to get good at it, but I found that I had a passion for teaching, and even as a young student at 12 years old, I was teaching classes and doing things like that. And it was something I absolutely loved to do. And you could see the impacts immediately, what you're doing with your peers. And then as I got older, I loved what I could do for the kids. And so it's just been something that it's always been a passion of mine. And whether it be punching and kicking, or what it can do for people outside of, actual physical self-defense training, what it does for kids in school and what it does for, their respect and their confidence, it's amazing. So I love getting to share that with the kids in our community.
That's awesome. Yeah, what it does for them outside of class, I think, is huge. Is there anything that is a common misconception about martial arts and getting involved that you'd like to share?
Well, that's a really good one, and I think the most common misconception, I think, is that anybody who does martial arts is going to be more violent. So we hear that a lot. Moms will bring their kids in, and they've heard recommendations from friends and maybe even from teachers, but they're worried that we're going to teach their kid how to punch and kick, and then they're going to go home and use that on their brothers and sisters and family members. But I think what we usually find are those kids that are really wild at home and having issues with that violence. They come here and they find an outlet, and they're able to use the time on the mats to get that violence out, but also learn how to listen and how to focus and how to have other strategies to deal with their stress and their behavior. So we work a lot on that in class, and I think it's a really big part of why we get recommended by a lot of the elementary schools in the area, because our program kind of does more than just working with punching and kicking, it teaches the self-confidence and the self-respect, and that turns people, it takes the kids that are really shy, and it helps bring that out. But those kids that are really kind of wild and out of control, it helps them get that self-control to control that. So I think the biggest misconception is that people do martial arts are violent, and that's just not true.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I know from experience sitting and listening to class that you're encouraging them to withhold violence, right? To not
Absolutely.
react with violence when they're in
Absolutely.
situations.
Yeah, our students say a creed before every class, and the second one that they talk about is defending their life and only using their martial arts to defend their life and the lives of others. And so that's something that we always refer back to whenever we have to have that conversation with a parent about little Billy or little Susie using their karate at home or at school. It's this is the first thing we teach, is that we don't do that. Hopefully that gets through.
Yeah, I think so. And I definitely appreciate that, because of course I've got little ones and we don't want any violence at home. And it definitely teaches, how to think before you act and control your body and be respectful physically. And so I appreciate that as a parent.
Me too, as a parent.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you guys do outside of work. So we know that you're, very busy with the school and working in the elementary schools, but you have a lot more going on too. So tell us a little bit more about what you do outside of work.
Well, we do. Sarah and I have two kids, Riley and Brandon, and so they keep us pretty busy doing. They're into gymnastics too, and doing some other stuff. But I also decided a few years ago, with my connection to the community and the fact that I grew up here, is I ran for city council, and so I'm actually on the end of my first term and running for re-election for that. So that is something that takes up quite a bit of our time, and I really love working with the city and being able to help our neighbors out. And that's, like I said, martial arts was a passion of mine from 4. I think my grandfather was mayor when I was a baby. So around 2 years old, I decided I think I wanted to be on city council for the city of Wheat Ridge. So one of those things about martial arts is goal setting. And I learned to set goals as a young kid and work to accomplish them. So it's fun to see over the years that it's been able to come off. But so anyway, that's what I do outside of the martial arts school right now. Is I'm working on city council and doing what we can for the city of Wheat Ridge, and excited to do that, and helping the family out as much as we can, because with 2 kids, we and parents that are aging, we get to spend a lot of time with them in the area, and absolutely love that. So that's what we do. We're not working.
Awesome.
Mostly Sundays.
Very busy. And then tell the listeners, what's the one thing you wish that all the, community members in Wheat Ridge knew about personal achievement martial arts?
Well, that's a good one. I really want people to understand that, Sarah and I and all of our instructors here, we're looking to do the best for the people in our community and the people who are involved in our school. So we're always going to be working very hard to make sure that we get the best out of your children and do the best for you. But I think the biggest thing is that, this program can really be a great thing, not only for kids, but for adults and family members to connect. And that's something that there's just not a whole lot of opportunities to do in the world right now, is to actually do something together as a family. And so one of the things that we love to say is that the family that kicks together sticks together. And when we find that with all of our black belt families, they start at white belt together, and finally dad or mom will jump in off the benches, and all of a sudden they're going, wow, I had no idea what a great workout this is. And wow, I didn't know I could be this flexible at 40 or 45 or whatever it is. So the martial arts is really a journey that everybody can learn from about 3 all the way up to 103. But our program specifically is designed not only just to be a martial arts program, but to be something that helps in the community, but helps at home and helps in the schools. And I think we've got some pretty good success. We've had a lot of valedictorians come through our program here, and we get those really nice cards from, I think we've had 2 or 3 valedictorians from Lakewood and from Wheat Ridge and from Golden, and we get those cards saying thank you for everything that you did to teach my child that. And that's why we do it. That's why Sarah became a teacher years ago, and that's why we decided to do this. So, but that's the biggest thing, is that martial arts just isn't punching and kicking, but our program focuses on so much more.
Yes. And then what is the best way for listeners to learn more or contact you, and, check out the program?
Oh, that's great. Well, we have a website. Our website is wheatridgema.com, as in wheatridgemartialarts.com. That has all of our programs. It talks about summer camp, birthday parties, our regular martial arts program for kids and adults, kickboxing, all that stuff that we offer. So our website is the best place. You can also see us on Facebook. Just kind of search Personal Achievement Martial Arts. You can give us a call, 720-287-3796, or you can always shoot us an email at staff@wheatridgema.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for visiting with us today. And I can't wait to connect with you again. And thank you for contributing content to the neighborhood magazines and being as involved as you are. I really appreciate it.
Well, right back at you, Meg. I really appreciate everything you've done for the community and for all the businesses in the area. Again, kind of just as a city councilor and as a business owner in the area, I really enjoy getting to work with you and this magazine, because you guys do kind of the same thing we do. You've got the best interest of the community at heart, so it's really fun to work with.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, that's a wrap.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com, or call 720-730-3850.